Connor said that he did his best to stay up, but had to head to bed at a certain point. I imagine you probably watched the whole thing last night in that game. Just your thoughts on that moment that happened.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think it's always a very proud moment when you have a family member play in the Olympics for one, and win a gold medal, and then the tournament that Sarah had. It was fun to watch start to finish the whole tournament. I know Uncle Roger and Aunt Michelle and my cousins EJ and Isaac are probably on cloud nine too. Their family, so it was awesome to see, and it's fun to follow along the whole way. And she earned everything, and hope they get to celebrate.
Would you say that, you guys are similar in terms of the way you approach being athletes, or is there something a little different that fuels her? Like, how can you describe to us what makes her as successful as she is?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of similarities, and I think that becomes, like, our family was very, both our fathers are very hardworking, very, very driven, so that's kind of where it all starts. And then from there, taking every opportunity that you get and making the most of it, and that's what she did. So she's very driven, works as hard as anyone I know, and earns everything that she's gotten to this point. And it's great to see her really just get everything she deserves.
Sarah's a perfect example of a player who started, came in the program young and started at the bottom, and she's worked her way up to now she's like a leading scorer and a driving player on that team. When you watch her play, and you've watched her play all along, can you let us in on maybe some of the things you watched her do last night and the way she plays last night that, what's she improved on? What's better? What makes her the player that she wasn't maybe a couple of years ago? Yeah,
I know the last Olympics and even leading up, I mean, she probably had more of the MO of being a checker and someone hard to play against, and she was able to bring the offensive side too. I mean, she set a record, and shows that, she's a complete package as a player. So it was fun to see, and it all comes from work. She just worked her way to the opportunities to play on the big lines, and when she got those opportunities, just made the most of it.
To the Oilers now, your team your 5-on-5 plays a lot better. You're checking a lot better, goals against a lot better. Jay, Mike Smith said the other day that the players looked at this situation and said it's now or never. Is this improvement more on the players buckling down, or is a lot of it some new plan that Jay Woodcroft has, a new game plan, new tweaks?
Jay's come in and done a great job of bringing in the system, not tweaking too much, but enough that plays to the strengths of our team, and I think the buy-in has definitely been there, and but at the end of the day, it's on the players in the room, and for us, we know that at this point, we have to go out there and perform no matter who's behind us. But Jay and Dave have done a great job of coming in here and setting the template.
What kind of fan are you, Darnell, back to the Olympics for a second, especially with, a bloodline attached? Do you get pretty intense? Are you swearing at the TV? What kind of fan are you?
No, honestly, when it comes to hockey, I'm pretty reserved. I will honestly say when I watch basketball, like when I watch my sister play, I'm like standing up, clapping, screaming at the TV. But when it's hockey, I'm definitely more reserved. So that's kind of fun.
And just to follow up a little bit on Speck's question with respect to the allocation of minutes, is it something you've noticed with 7 defensemen in the lineup? Do you feel any of a different rhythm to the game?
No, I wouldn't say so. Obviously, get to go out there and play against the best players on each team each and every night, and that's a role I love to play. So it's been great. The messaging has been great. The allocation, just for me, be able to look down the bench and see their top guys coming out and hopping out and knowing that's a responsibility. That's something I relish as a competitor.
Darnell over here, can you talk to Niemelainen how he loves to hit people? I mean, he kind of reminds me of that McNabb who plays in Vegas. So you're coming down his side, and he's looking to really belt people.
Yeah, he is. He's every time he defends so well and puts people in positions where he can finish. And when he finishes, he throws everything into it. So he's been great to watch. He competes so hard, and that really drives the compete in the whole group.
Thank you.
I was going to ask about that, Darnell. He's got a real dimension to his game. You add in Evander Kane, who won't back down from guys. Is that infectious? You're obviously an aggressive player when you need to be or can be. Having more guys like that, do you feel a different energy in your team?
Yeah, for sure, guys. Anytime you have more of that, people just seem to feed off it. So those guys come out and play hard each and every night, and it drags some people that maybe aren't so often at doing it. And as a group, it makes the group harder to play against, which is what you want.
And lastly, the Pacific Division, you guys really dominated it. You're 12-3. Any reason why? It's obviously key, especially in the NHL playoff format, where the first 2 rounds are within the division. What's the key to your success in the Pacific?
I wouldn't say you approach the game the same way. It's just you get into these games, you know the importance of them, especially now. I mean, sure, there's 35, 36 games left in the season, but it feels like it's a stretch run. It feels like you're in the last 20, and that importance is even heightened when you play against your own division. So we know the importance of the games. We know how tight our division, how tight our conference usually is, and that gives you extra juice whenever you're playing someone in your own division.